Hi, I'm Rory Foster with Common Ground, one of the leaders of the Costa Rica immersion programs. Thanks for tuning in. You have some questions probably about what this program's like, and there are a handful of questions that people generally ask, so I thought I'd just address them in this video here. But before I do, I just wanted to say that you are amazing. You're amazing for considering an investment like this, an investment of your time, of your resources. Why? Because the pursuit to learn Spanish so that you can become a more effective provider to your Spanish-only patients is a noble one. And I think it's something that makes a difference in people's lives. And you are not only bringing your medical skills to the table, but you are going the extra mile and adding a second language to your ability to care for patients. And for that, I think that you're an amazing person just for considering this, because it is a significant investment and it's a long-term deal to learn a language. So kudos to you for having this interest and considering making a commitment like this. So I want to address 4 questions today, questions that people tend to ask. The first one's about safety. Is Costa Rica a safe place? And the short answer is yes. Does that mean that you can go about your business without any additional considerations, thoughts, or concerns? No, there is sort of a new standard of what you might consider common sense when you're traveling internationally, particularly in Central America. We have intentionally chosen Costa Rica because it has a long-standing reputation for being a safe place. Politically, it's very stable, and violent crime is very low as you compare it against other places in Central and South America. And so, in general, Costa Rica is a very safe place. What are some of those additional considerations you want to consider? The first one is probably that petty theft is a really common occurrence throughout Central America. And so you really can't leave anything unattended. You probably shouldn't even be hanging a backpack on the back of your chair when you're eating at a restaurant. You certainly would never leave your wallet or your purse on a table as you're going to make a payment or something like that at a restaurant. So petty theft is something you need to be careful of. Additionally, if you are a woman, you certainly wouldn't want to be out after dark walking by yourself anywhere. It's just not a good idea. So there are some additional precautions. Not that anything's going to happen to you or anything terribly violent would happen to you, but there is a lot of wisdom in the idea of an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So with safety, there are really 2 things. One, petty theft, and so essentially, let's just call it being alone after dark. You don't want to do that anywhere. Men, probably it's less of an issue, but still something that you should just kind of be in pairs when you're out and about. That's question 1. Question 2 is this program okay for beginners? And so this is a really big deal, actually. Is an immersion program like this an okay opportunity, an okay experience for someone who's just starting out with Spanish? And I'll tell you, we have had this conversation amongst our coordinating and leadership team with these programs for many years, and we've always come back to the same result. We have always said, it's a slightly different experience for someone who is at ground zero with Spanish than someone who's already an intermediate level or an advanced level speaker, but you just cannot argue with the progress that someone makes with their language. And after all, that's what this program's about, making progress with your ability to speak and understand Spanish. And so the fact that you just cannot argue the progress that people make, we've always come back to the same conclusion that yes, it is just fine to have rank beginners join us on the program. So one thing you want to consider is that if you're a beginner, certain things will be frustrating for you that aren't frustrating for other people who are further along with their language. One of the contrasts in one of the difficult things to swallow for our really high achieving medical professionals is that you are so used to being at the top of your game. You're so used to being right because it's just really important in your profession to get it right all the time. And but take that and you're used to functioning at a really high level, and then you walk into your host family and you can't communicate, yes, I'd love to take a shower, but where's the towel? Or you walk into the restaurant and you're at a loss for ordering soup or whatever. And so certain daily frustrations pop up for the beginner that don't exist for the intermediate level speaker. And certain things just take the beginner longer. The intermediate level speaker is going to connect with their host family right away. The beginner is going to take some time to connect. Some of our medical outreach work will be easier for the person who's got more Spanish than for the rank beginner. But that doesn't mean that it's not a good program for beginners. And in fact, our role as leaders is to make sure that you are always learning as much as you can all the time and not getting overwhelmed at the same time. So, is it okay for beginners? Yes, absolutely. The third question is, are the dates flexible? We have two regular programs that we run throughout the year. Are the dates flexible? We have two regular programs that we run throughout the year, and these programs happen February, March, and then July, August. And are the dates flexible? Yes. Let's say you can't be there week one of a program. Sure, it's totally fine to come week two. Or let's say you've got to leave on a Wednesday instead of completing a full week of a full Monday to Friday week or something like that within the program. Yeah, totally flexible. Can we offer you the program in November? Not right now. There's so much planning and prep that goes into running one of these programs that we are confined to February, March, July, August. But within those windows of program time, there is flexibility with your dates. And then the fourth question is there an opportunity for my spouse or my significant other to do something with me on the program if they're not a medical person? And so the fourth question has to do with spouse or significant other. And yeah, the short answer is yes. While your spouse or your significant other may not be able to comment or add to a particular health topic during a medical outreach project, there are always plenty of things that they can do and can pitch in, can provide as value add to the program and to the different communities that we work with. And so the short answer is yes. The long answer is let's talk about your spouse, let's talk about your significant other, and just get a sense for what their goals are and see if it's a good fit. In fact, I would invite a conversation to speak with you too and make sure that you have your other questions answered besides these, and just to make sure that our program is the right fit for you as well. In sum, if gaining Spanish proficiency is one of your goals, there isn't a better program for you. Gaining Spanish proficiency that's going to help you in the clinic when you get back home, this is the program for you. If you have other goals like gaining a lot of clinical experience and maybe Spanish is a take it or leave it kind of goal, this probably isn't the program for you. So, summarizing, is it a safe place to go? Yes, but you've got to have a new set of sort of common sense practices in order to stay safe. Is it okay for beginners? Yes, absolutely. Are the dates flexible? Yes, they can be flexible provided you're still thinking about the general window of time for the program. Is there something useful, beneficial for my spouse to do? Absolutely, but let's talk about it. Thanks so much. Appreciate you considering this program, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.